Okay, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics as Non-Classics. This is episode number 1142 and Doubleshot number 1036. Two Avenger trades, both from Jason Aaron. First up, it's Volume 4, War of the Realms. Yeah, this is the War of Realms tie-in issues. Well, the first three are. The last one simply just an aftermath issue. Yeah, it's only just 4 issues, surprisingly. It's a really short trade. Yep. Now, the first issue, issue 18, is a spotlight on the Squadron Supreme of America. Yep. Now, here's the thing. Back in issue 10 was this group's debut, and their director, even though led by Hyperion, who is not the Hickman from Hyperion, this is a completely different guy. Yeah. And the director is Phil Coulson, who was brought back from the dead. Yeah, Jason Aaron retconned something that was done by Gary Duggan. Why in the world he decided to resurrect him, I have no idea. Also, he hates superheroes now because he got shot by Deadpool. Yeah, that's basically kind of the reason for it. And this issue simply put what they were doing during War of the Realms. Yeah, fighting frost giants and chasing the U.S. border and doing nothing. And of course they get called back up as later. Yeah, and they kind of reveal a little bit about the Squadron Supreme America. Apparently Nighthawk is a senator. Yes. And it's set up that, oh yeah, Hyperion and Power Princess are a couple. Which is kind of like how they were in the Supreme Power universe, implying they were a couple there. Yeah, and the members are the traditional members. Hyperion, Power Princess, Nighthawk, which, yeah, here's the thing about Night. Now here's a good, now the thing is, Dr. Spectrum is the only one who, and Hyperion are the only two who look like in their traditional costumes. Yes, you also have Power Princess, Nighthawk, which I'm thinking, wait, this can't be the regular Nighthawk because Kyle Raymond is still around. And there's also the Wizard. Yes. Now, the thing about the Squadron Supreme group, they're basically Marvel's analog to the Justice League. Nighthawk, Batman. Power Princess, Wonder Woman. Hyperion, Superman. Dr. Spectrum, Green Lantern, and, as in the case of the Wizard, the Flash. Yeah, there's no equivalent to Martian Manhunter or even Aquaman part of the scoop. Yep. And what I described there also, they talk about the apparent fake romance between Hyperion and, well, Power Princess. They have this sort of conversation. They're basically butt naked for absolutely no reason at all. And they're doing this right in front of some scientists and Phil Coulson, who are fully clothed. Yeah, there's also like Wolverine as well. And after, it's like, okay, it's kind of like a day. Yeah, it's also kind of implied to reveal exactly who was responsible for Coulson's resurrection. It's implied it's Mephisto. Yes, it's very heavily implied that Mephisto was responsible for it, but it's never supposed to reveal. 19 is a really cool issue. It's focused on what Gorilla Man was up to during all this. Yes, Gorilla Man. Yeah, the guy who was part of the Agents of Atlas, the original version of the group, and he's also the Avengers Chief of Security. And he was told by Black Panther to do his job, basically, defending the place while it's being invaded by friggin' ice giants and dark elves. And he's doing this alongside Kazar. Yeah, basically just like kicking butt, taking no names. And then he's later seen the infirmary along with Odin, being taken care of by Dr. Nemesis. Yep. Then we have something that was seen back in the War of the Vampires one, where like, oh yeah, he's a subject of the Kingdom of the Damned, basically Dracula. Doesn't really go anywhere. Yeah, 19 is simply put just a standalone issue on She-Hulk. Her battling her inner self. Yeah, that's really the whole gist of it. It's all focused on Jennifer Walters. The entire issue. And her beating up people, her work with Blade. And just basically what she was up to during the events of War of the Realms. I'm like, really? You don't have... Now, In the case you wonder, like, what was everybody else doing in War of the Realms? Well, that was mostly explored in the tie-in books. 21, it's the Aftermath issue. This issue is so hilarious. It's like, okay, we have Iron Man, Thor, and the Iron Man Thor are basically a hot tub. It's implied both these two are completely naked. Like, Thor's got his hammer, he's got an eye patch. That's something happened to him during Advents of War of the Realms. And, yeah, also Thor has got back his classic hammer. Iron Man's wearing his helmet. Captain America's like, really? You can do this? Like, I couldn't stand by. It's like, nah, we're just gonna relax. So he basically strips down to his shield for some reason. Yeah, and then Black Panther teleports in Phil Coulson's office. And Phil Coulson is basically guarded by a group of 4 LMD Nick Furies. And it basically calls him out for the stuff with Squadron Supreme. It's like, yeah, you may have protected America, but you had Frostbite in City for Canada. Phil Coulson's like, nah, not my problem. That's Canada's problem, not mine. It's like, that's over there. Yeah, I know that's a gag Link Carr started when he did a review of, I think it was Superman 701, when he started the whole storyline of the Walk Across America storyline. Yeah. And he also calls out Phil Coulson for the Squadron Supreme America. He's probably like, okay, who the heck are you guys? You guys are clearly not the Squadron Supreme America. The Squadron Supreme that I know. Yeah, he knows the original Squadron Supreme, because he met these guys back in the frickin' 70s. So, as for who these guys really are, no one really knows. It's just something Jason there came up with. Yep, and yeah, it's simply just mild setup. And this issue was also mild setup for the next story arc. Yeah, and of course there's a confrontation. Yeah, the confrontation between, well, Black Panther and the Squadron America. I'll come across the question. Who are you guys? You guys are clearly not the Squadron Supreme America. And then we cut back to the hot tub where we see that Carol's in there. It looks like she's wearing like a one-piece swimsuit. Robbie is basically wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt and swim trunks. And then all of a sudden we hear, make room for a naked She-Hulk. And Cap's like, no thank you. And Tony's like, yeah, no problem saying this because he's a playboy. And Thor's like, huzzah, because he's dating She-Hulk. And of course, Carol is like covering Robbie's eyes because it's She-Hulk and she's naked. Just cuz. This is kind of funny. And they talk for, I was like, okay, time to heat up. And then we have Robin going as Ghost Rider form in the hot tub, which I thought was so funny. And then we have, like, Avengers Man Penthouse, basically where Black Panther probably sleeps. And then we have, like, set up for, like, something like, ooh, Mephisto, who's in prison. Yeah, this is something related to Doctor Strange Damnation. Yeah, and that's on the trade. And then we have a free comic day issue just about, well, it's mostly set up for the Invaders short-lived ongoing series. Basically, Submariner using his Deep Six to take down, well, Raxton stuff, and the Squadron Supreme America taking him on, which is so cool, seeing Namor versus Hyperion, though who these guys really are. And also, there's also more set up for the next arc, which involves the Ghost Rider. We have stuff in space involving a future version of the Guardians, what it looks like, and also deals up with Starbrand. Yeah, and then we also have a return of the Avengers 1 million from Marvel Legacy #1. Yeah, really cool. An absolute fantastic comic. Also, Emma Geddes does the artwork for this thing. It is so damn good, this book. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. It's that damn good. Moving on to Volume 5, Challenge of the Ghost Riders. Oh, and who appears in this book? He's clearly on the cover, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, a.k.a. Frank frickin' Castle, the Punisher. Yeah, in case you're wondering, like, okay, now the thing is, his appearance in this storyline was set up in Danny Coates' Guardians of the Galaxy book. This falls like right after that. Yep, and he's not the only person. The artwork now, in the first trade, it's all by Emma Geddes. This one's done by Salvador Casale with issue 24, done by Leo Vicino. This covers issue 21 to 24. Yep. Now, this story has a return of the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Yes, who's the king of hell? If you're curious though, how in the world did this happen? Read Doctor Strange Damnation, that's where this happened. Yeah, he took over from the king of hell, the position left vacant by Mephisto. Mephisto took his position back from Strongman back in an arc for Thunderbolts of all things. Yeah, that was something Charles Soule did. Now, the whole thing with this, now Danny Cotis was responsible for this as well. Yeah, so Danny Cotis is responsible for not only creating the Cosmic Ghost Rider and the reason why he appears here, but also the reason why that Johnny Blaze is the King of Hell. And that's the main story arc. And of course, we have Robbie Reyes appears in here. Yeah, this whole. Oh, yeah, they all threw in here in this trade. They all threw in Robbie Reyes' first appearance in the comics, All New Ghost Rider #1, which simply has also his backstory of how he became the Ghost Rider that people know him for, the one with the car. Yes, now, here's kind of the strange thing. A few years ago, when he was first announcing an ongoing series, when people saw what he looked like way the skull looked, like, and they're asking like, wait, why in the world are we getting another Ghost Rider? We have one. It's Johnny Blaze or Dan Ketch. Yeah, I heard some people basically they were not on board with the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. Despite the fact I read his comic book, it's really good, and they also described him as sort of like a robot and a Terminator based on the way his skull was drawn. Yes. Yeah. And yes, the guy is in live action, and the guy who played him in Age of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a fantastic job. Yeah, the whole storyline for this one is like, okay, the Ghost Rider, his spirit Avengers is going on control, so he tries to smash up his car, doesn't do anything, he wants to excise from it. So, who do they call excise the spirit? Like, why Damien Hellstrom? Even though when I look at this guy, like, clearly this guy can't be Damien Hellstrom. Though apparently Jason Aaron kind of forgot the fact that Carol Danvers has met him before. Now, I'm going to show you what he looks like now. Now, this is not what he was last seen looking like. Yeah, this is a complete redesign. Now, this apparently is supposed to be Damien Hellstrom, the son of Satan. Okay, the mark on his chest, that's fine, but the pointy ears and the beard, now here's the thing about Marvel and their relationship with this character. For the past, past decade, it seems like though Marvel has no idea what to do with this character. Like, is he a hero? Is he a villain? At one point, he was put in jail. Yes, Damien Hellstrom was put in jail by Venom of all people. And then at one point, he was dead. People thought he was, Venom's like, no, he's in jail. Why are we seeing his corpse for? And oh yeah, he also got killed off just prior to the events of the now canceled ongoing series Strike Force, a series I thought was really good, despite the fact it got canceled after 8 freaking issues. Yes. Now I'm not sure why in the world Carol forgot meeting him, because Carol has met him before in the pages New Avengers when Daniel Drum, the brother of Dr. Voodoo, was killing a bunch of people just because what happened at the start of that run related to his death back in the first arc. Why in the world Jason Aaron forgot the fact that Carol has met him before, I have no idea. Well, my personal, because probably looked a little different back then, saying this is Damien Hellstrom is quite strange. Oh yeah, and also, now I get how Damien Hellstrom knows Blade, probably because they're in the supernatural community, and plus also they were in that Spirits Avengers miniseries, which I have reviewed. It is a really damn good miniseries, by the way. Yep, so basically he's there, just excise them. We see the Avengers are in Turkey, looking at something related to the Avengers 1 million BC. Yeah, I think that's what happens in the next story arc related to. So let's do an exorcism. Oh yeah, and also we have Boy Thing, basically. We have Little Man Thing on Blade's shoulder. Yeah, that's something he picked up from the new Legion of Living. Yeah, and Damien's like, you're the only one I can trust. And Blade's like, really? I don't trust you at all, Damien. Yep, so basically, he trusts him. He does the exorcism, and then he gets in the car, and then he disappears, and he's sent to hell. In his Ghost Rider type, despite the fact he was shirtless. Yep. And he comes across the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Now, this is something I should point out, though. Johnny Blaze has met Johnny Blaze before, in his own solo title. Apparently, the way Jason Aaron is basically writing this is that apparently Johnny Blaze has never met him before. He probably heard of him, but he's never met him. Why in the world the retcon for is never actually explained. Also, something really weird happens in the story arc. Like, the Avengers Mountain, the headquarters of the Avengers, which is the body of dead Celestial, is woken up by possession. Okay, and then because the... Also, this I thought was also really weird. Like, we have Captain America in the environmental suit because Nexus are going on. Like, really? Since when does Nexus involve you putting on an EVA suit? Yeah, that's never actually explained. And then we see various people come out of hell. What looks like dead versions of like people who look like or fought Iron Man. Like what looks like a version of the like basically people possessing the armory, like Iron Man suits. And everybody's like wearing satanic symbols on this EVA suit, and they take on these creatures. And then we have a race between Johnny Blaze and looks like Dan. Like we see various Ghost Riders. We see Dan Ketch and Johnny Blaze, who Dan Ketch is Johnny Blaze's brother. We see various different Ghost Riders. Probably just to reference the fact Jason Aaron wrote Ghost Rider before. That's probably the reason why he's able to write Johnny Blaze so well, despite the fact that, I mean, if you read this, it's kind of implied Jason Aaron just retconned the fact that these two have met here before. Yeah, they met each other toward the end of Robbie Reyes' first ongoing series. And, like, Robbie Reyes does not want to race. But then he brings up Robbie's brother, Gabe, and he's like, yeah. You want to race? Fine. Let's race. And they race. And then, yeah, then of course the mountain comes alive and starts rampaging in the North Pole. Yeah, fun story arc. Then we see various people. They also mention Eli, who's basically the spirit of vengeance that, well, possesses Eli when he becomes the Ghost Rider. And then we see the Cosmic Ghost Rider show up. Yep, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, if you will. He's like, suppose you're right. Like, yeah, this like flaming thing is like, I was just swinging by a hammer. Like, and he says, oh yeah, what are they about that? My name's Frank Castle. I'm the guy who's gonna murder you, Avengers. I won't lie, this gets messy. Yeah, this also loosely ties into the the Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys the Marvel Universe. Yeah, this is basically what he's basically referencing something that another writer wrote. Yep. Yeah, why the Cosmic Ghost Rider is here? Well, he was dragged because of the plot demanded it. Yep, because why not? Also, Johnny Blaze wants to fight Johnny Blaze, and they briefly fight the Avengers because he really wants to kill him for some reason. Because that's Punisher for you. He loves killing people. And then we see it looks like a Celestial in hell, more fighting, and of course gets beaten up. And then of course, then he stops and like realizes though that reason why he's here because he's teleporting because of Happy Guardians Case number 6, Danny Costa's book. And then Robbie gets reunited with his parents. And then basically, and the Avengers go to hell, and then they briefly fight Johnny Blaze. Now, here's kind of the strange thing when it comes to Johnny Blaze. Like, I'm thinking though, okay, now, Johnny Blaze, some of the Avengers do know who he is. Like, it's quite strange for them to fight him. Yeah, it's strange seeing Johnny Blaze as a villain. And he mentions, oh yeah, he was a carny, and there was lots of fighting here, lots of fun action here. Of this whole thing, it's pure fun. And then we see a confrontation, like, and then one thing we don't get a chance to see, and we do see briefly, Frank Castle talk to Johnny Blaze. And of course, he abdicates the throne of, let's say, the King of Hell. And then Robbie goes out with Gabe. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider gets back to space. Iron Man basically sees what's going on with the helmet, and he gets teleported back in time to the past. Yeah. Kind of a weird storyline when it comes to the challenge to Ghost Riders. Yeah, this was something Danny Coe set up and had basically Jason Aaron. It's kind of written as though Jason Aaron's like, okay, I'll write this, but I'm sure Jason Aaron's like, well, I'm gonna have some fun with this. Yeah. Bringing back Damien Hellstrom was interesting to say the least, but apparently now it's kind of very heavily implied Jason Aaron just retconned two things: the fact that Carol Danvers has met Damien Hellstrom before, and it's very heavily implied, but not stated here, that Johnny Blaze and Robbie Reyes never met before, even though they have met before in his Robbie Reyes short ongoing series. But fun story arc, and would I recommend it? Oh yes, definitely. And I did check Volume 6, which just released this week, so maybe local I probably get it. Okay, so yeah, that's it for Cycle Review. I'll be next review up in a bit. I'll review 2 physical trades. Yeah, but I'm gonna give the second volume of Avengers, because even though it is still really good, I'm gonna give roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a bit of a step down from last year, but still a good story arc nonetheless. Yeah, it's almost like Cosmic Ghost Riders being here, just a slight detour, just before you can go back to Guardians book, which I still haven't finished reviewing Danny Coe's run. I have it basically on my wish list to get, but I just haven't gotten it yet. But I will probably get it soon. Okay, so that's it for particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be a bit discussing 2 physical trades, one for Marvel, one for DC. Okay, see you next video. Bye.